You know, usually when you order something on the darknet, you expect a piece of plastic, a fake, or at worst an empty box. But when I stumbled onto a hidden forum selling so-called unidentified deep-sea fauna, curiosity beat common sense. For the sake of content, I hit buy. 3 days later, a courier left a heavy, unmarked cryogenic cylinder at my door without a word. It was ice cold, caked in white frost, and hissed ominously when I tore off the seal and turned the valve. Inside, in separate capsules of hypercooled transparent gel, were 3 of the weirdest, most terrifying, yet insanely cute creatures I'd ever seen. Each fit in my palm, but their anatomy broke every law of nature. No eyes, only glowing sensory pits, and huge, disproportionately wide, tubular mouths lined with rows of needle-like teeth. The first was dark crimson, his scaly plates glowing orange between them like cooling magma. The second was smooth, whale-like, deep azure, with elegant fins and bioluminescent neon dots along his side. The third was the gloomiest, dark purple armor of dense scales pulsing with a magenta aura. I decided to keep them all. What could possibly go wrong? I spent a week turning my room into a high-tech lab. I bought an industrial chiller for the crimson one, because in normal water his skin made it microboil, tiny steam bubbles rising, hot fog hanging over his nanotank. For the blue one I set up a tall, cylindrical tank with a current generator. He loved swimming against the flow, twisting his whole body while his dots left glowing blue trails. The purple one was the hardest. He couldn't tolerate bright light, so I built a dark water tank lit only by a dim UV lamp, where he hovered in the shadows like a phantom. Feeding was its own art. I'd buy premium salmon, molded into giant sushi rolls 3 times their size, and toss them in. Their tubular mouths opened to impossible sizes, becoming black holes that vacuum the meat in whole. No chewing, one sharp, powerful gulp. For an epic video, I put all 3 into one reinforced tank to watch them interact. My first fatal mistake. The moment the crimson one touched the water, the temperature spiked. The blue one bolted to the far corner, pressing against the glass to escape the heat, while the purple one hovered, aura pulsing. Without warning, the crimson one lunged and clamped its jaws onto the purple one's tail. The water boiled. Chaos erupted. After a furious second, the purple one went limp, its glow fading to a dull gray, and sank like a stone. My heart dropped. I thought I'd just filmed my pet's death. In a panic, I netted out the crimson and blue ones, but when I leaned close, the camera caught a twitch of the purple one's fin and a spark of magenta in his pits. The sneaky little monster had played dead, killing his glow to dodge the fight. 3 months later, things spiraled. They'd grown from walnut-sized to the size of a large dog. The crimson one's acrylic tank was warping and melting from his heat. The blue one kept slamming his tail against the walls. He needed space. An apartment wouldn't cut it. I rented an abandoned indoor pool on the city's edge, sealed the drains with concrete, and pumped in tons of ice-cold filtered seawater. Releasing them felt like returning wild animals to nature. The blue one did barrel rolls, the crimson one left boiling whirlpools, and the purple one simply vanished into the depths. But feeding was no longer cute. I ordered fish wholesale, pallets of frozen mackerel and tuna dumped into the water. Their gaping maws made vortexes powerful enough to splash water over the edges. That's when the idyll collapsed. I dropped a tuna in, and the purple one darted out of the dark to snatch it. But the crimson one didn't go for the fish. With the speed of an apex predator, it lunged, its mouth opening nearly 180 degrees, and swallowed the purple one whole, in a single bite. I screamed and recoiled. The blue one huddled in the shallowest corner, trembling, and the crimson one began to change, its magmatic veins flaring blinding white. An anomalous mutation. Its skin split with a crack, revealing new armor, its mass doubling by the minute. The pool boiled instantly. Scalding steam filled the room, and the wall tiles shattered from the heat. There was no going back. I wasn't raising a pet. I was holding a ticking time bomb. Containing it indoors was impossible. I spent my entire life savings on heavy machinery for a covert night operation. 2 industrial cranes, titanium cables, a fireproof shipping container. We hoisted that glowing, roaring mountain of flesh out of the boiling pool and hauled it to the coast, dumping the crimson beast into the open ocean. As it sank into the icy dark, sending a pillar of steam into the sky, I felt relief mixed with primal dread at what I'd unleashed. I took the blue one home and built a giant fortified enclosure in the backyard. I spent the next year on him alone. He grew to the size of a school bus, incredibly strong, yet calm and genuinely attached to me. I thought the worst was behind me. Then, a year later, emergency broadcast sirens woke me. I ran outside and looked toward the bay. The night sky wasn't black. It burned with an apocalyptic blood-red light. The ocean was boiling. A wall of thick fog rolled toward the city, and through it, I saw him. The Crimson One had returned. Only now he was the size of a skyscraper, a colossal, godlike titan. His armor like the slopes of an erupting volcano, liquid slag pouring into the sea. Every time his mouth opened, a low-frequency hum shattered windows. Military helicopters circling him looked like gnats. Their missiles melted before reaching his skin. The city was doomed. I looked at my backyard. The Blue One had surfaced, his massive head rising, lights pulsing frantically. He sensed the threat. Without a thought, I opened the enclosure's floodgates, connecting it to the storm drain leading straight to the bay. The Blue One burst free like a giant azure torpedo. I jumped in my pickup and sped to a hilltop to walk. It was a clash of two elements. The Blue Titan breached and slammed into the Crimson One's glowing side at full speed. The shockwave kicked up a tsunami that crashed into the empty dock. But the Crimson One was too huge, too hot. He coiled around the Blue One, and the horrifying sound of sizzling flesh reached me. The Blue One shrieked in agony, fighting to break the boiling grip. The Crimson One reared over him, throwing back its faceless head, mouth gaping for the kill. Then something no one expected. Deep in the Crimson Monster's translucent, glowing belly, a dark spot began to move. The orange light inside shifted to toxic magenta. The Crimson One froze, its triumphant roar becoming a gurgling wheeze. With a sickening tear, its chest ruptured from the inside out. Bursting from the scalding maw, shattering the Titan's jaws, emerged the Purple One. He hadn't been digested that day in the pool. For a whole year, he'd parasitized inside, feeding off the Crimson One's endless thermal energy, growing to the same colossal size. Now he was covered in impenetrable, pitch-black spiked scales, blazing with purple radiance. The instant the parasite broke free, the Crimson One's inner fire went out. Its gargantuan body deflated and shrank, magmatic veins cooling to gray ash. Stripped of strength, it released its grip. The Blue One seized the moment, sinking its jaws into the enemy's neck, while the Purple One wrapped its armored tail around the Crimson. Together, glowing blue and purple, they dragged the defeated, steaming Titan to the bottom of the Black Ocean. The bay boiled for a few more minutes, then fell silent. I stood on the cliff in the cold wind. The city was saved, but out there, in the depths of the Mariana Trench, two new, uncontrollable overlords now dwelled. I exhaled, promising myself I'd never log on to the darknet again. No more mysterious packages, no more pets, nothing. But as I turned back to my truck, my phone vibrated. An encrypted notification from that very same hidden forum glowed on the screen. It read, "Dear VIP client, your new order has been successfully delivered to your backyard. We hope you enjoy the Queen of the Swarm."